Hi, Chris. Hello, Ewan. This channel and its founders are a not so proud member of YouTube's all-encompassing special society of heavily overwhelmed layout enthusiasts. Look for us, you'll find one of us everywhere. The rules for layouts: it's your layout, do what you want. Don't tell someone what to do unless they ask you what they should do. And don't call out, criticize, or mock another channel on your channel unless you're really good friends. Warning! The content of this stream is not suitable for children under the age of 16, maybe even 18. The language, themes, attitudes, and personality of the presenter was not suitable for his own children when young, and he was a permissive parent. Topics discussed will not center on trains and will focus on anything except politics. It just happens trains are running. Any similarity between characters, situations, trains, and intelligent thoughts is strictly a coincidence, and any rebroadcast or transmission of this stream without the expressed written consent of Major League Baseball is strictly prohibited. Viewer discretion is advised. If you have never been to this channel before, here is a map of the table. It is as it looks from my control center. The long run in the back is about 22.5 feet long. And there are 5 cameras positioned around the table. All right. Hi, everybody. How are you? Let me see who is all here. Hi, Chris. Nice to have you here. Ewan, awesome. Carl, great to have you. Colin, hi there, Colin. Yes, I am well. It's been a stressful week. Very stressful on my end. Work is crazy again. Joyce has had a really bad week at work. I don't even know if she'll come down on camera. She's just been dealing with a lot of idiots. Let's see. Got that. Hello, Lee. Nice to have you here. And Steven, always glad to see you too. Let me see, have I missed... oh, Heath is here. Heath, you never miss anything. I do nothing on this, so it's hard to miss anything when we do nothing on it. Pete Clark, glad to have you here, sir. Delta, CRJ, hey, glad to have you back. And is there anybody that I have missed? Tim JD, there you are. People are coming in a little faster. Hello, Brian from the Angel Share. I prefer the Devil Share, but hey. Yes, I always read that live. Hi, Tim from Island Scenics. Good. Nice to have you here, you amazingly creative gentleman, you. And I don't say that being sarcastically at all. You are truly a gifted creator. And David Cook, nice to have you here. Okay. Yes, I have episode 2 of Matt Clark Railroad Detective ready to go. If you have not been here recently, I started doing a stupid serial, and you need to see episode 1 before you see episode 2, so you can like open up another window or something and watch episode 1, because it's only about 4 minutes long, and there's nothing I do in 4 minutes that you won't miss. It's all waste. Anyhow, if you didn't catch last week, a couple of people apparently didn't know, I did get my 3D printer fixed last weekend. I've been printing. Um, let's see. You might be able to see in this view. No, yeah. You can see a bunch of orange and gray buildings over there. That's what I've been printing up, just testing. I'm still having slight issues with warping, but I am getting better. I'm still trying to figure this all out, and I'm still trying to find a non-wallet busting program that would allow me to actually design buildings that I specifically want to design. The whole point of 3D printer was so I could design very specific buildings from the city of Delmenhorst that I just can't find models of, and I can't scratch build anymore. Anybody else come in? Hello, Brecknock. Nice to have you here. In fact, so going back, as long as I'm not Daleki on this camera, yeah, I spent last week writing. When I had free time, I was writing. I've written 5 scenes and recorded 5 scenes. I have 5 scenes done, animated. Part of me wants to just release them all right now. I just want to put them all out there. The other part of me wants to keep it as a serial once a week with my live stream, something to rope people in with my live stream. Yes, yeah, I can do that. Did I see somebody mention Toby? There's like 3 Tobys, so is that a different Toby than the one that's already here? Okay, let's deal with German first, then I'll go back and talk about that. Yes, Tim, I know you get 10 million people on your stream with Google Translate or some of the other ones. Insellandschaften is the closest translation you're going to get. Scenics is officially not a word yet in many American English dictionaries. So Insellandschaften means island scenery. Okay, that's how it translates. So when you type in scenics, your translator. Technically, scenics has a subtle difference from Landschaften or from scenery. There's scenery and there's scenics. So technically you should modify that word, but yeah, all those people with it. Insellandschaften is a close enough translation. I just, being German and a German teacher, I try to get a more specific one, which would be something like Insellandschaftenheit, Insellandschaftensicht. Those would be the closer ones, which would be more direct to what scenics means, but it also makes it wordier, and so Insellandschaften will work. Simon, hi, how are you? I'm trying to keep up here. All right, so yeah, not a lot of big news for me, other than I probably got to shave. This is starting to hit that annoying me stage. But we got some trains ready to go. Changed a few trains for those of you who are fans of my double deckers. All the double deckers are running, and we will get some camera angles on here. Let's start with the all view and get going. What is the name of your channel in German? Well, if we go with Humanity Junction, it would be Menschheit Kreuzung. Menschheit Kreuzung. Or Dimension Kreuzung. Menschheit Kreuzung. And then model railroad in German is called Modellbahn. So you'd be Menschheit-Kreuzung Modellbahn. So there, I typed it for you in German. Let me see. So we got 19 here. That's not a bad start. Well, I was kind of liking how this beard was looking, but I need to at least trim it, but also after a while, it just starts to get itchy. But with all the weight loss, I really like the way it came in, although it's all white. I don't want to look too much like Chris. Yeah, unfortunately, the wordplay doesn't work in German like it does because a city in German is a Stadt, SDA. So, you know, where you can put that C in there, humanity and human city. Menschenstadt, Menschheit, Menschenstadt, MOBA. I just say MOBA. In the German community, we just call it MOBA. And MOBA-Freunde. Your friends are MOBA-Freunde, model train friends, MOBA-Freunde. Hallo MOBA-Freunde, wie geht's? Hey, this shafting and shanking, we'll get an extra 5-10 years added to your sentence here. But anyhow, yeah, I mean, you guys can let... Joyce tells me I definitely, by getting ahead like I have, where I have 5 episodes, because I kind of hit a writer's block. I've been doing so much writing, and then work got stressful, and I kind of lost some of the... I didn't lose the jokes. It's just I got so far in the story and couldn't decide which way I wanted to go, because I've already gone farther. I originally... The joke was going to be that one episode, but then I kept writing. And I had 3 episodes done before I showed you the first episode of Matt Clark, Railroad Detective. Oh, what did I miss from? Hello, Andy from G. Well, that was Joyce's logic too, Tim, is that if I do them once a week, it gives me 3-4 weeks. I mean, I'm writing scene 6, but the other thing is the scenes are getting longer. Like scene 1 was, introduction was 2 minutes, and then the scene was 2 minutes. Scene 2 is 3 minutes. Scene 4 is, scene 2 is almost 4 minutes. Scene 3 is 4.5 minutes. Scene 4 is 8.5 minutes, and scene 5 is 8 minutes. And I can't imagine anybody sitting in their computer watching that cartoon for 8 minutes. Well, I am a writer, so I really do hate writer's block, Kieran. Hello, Matt. I do hate writer's block. I really hate it when I get writer's block. I tend to, which is why I was never a novelist. I remember my father-in-law when I got a couple of poems published in a magazine and was talking about hopefully one day to get a book of poetry published, which did happen. But I always talked about I wanted to get a book of poems published, and my father-in-law would always say, "What are the odds of that?" And I'd say 1 in a trillion. He says, "Well, why don't you write novels?" And I'm like, I'm not a novel writer. Just because you're a creative writer doesn't mean you're a novel writer. You have your shtick, you have your genre, you have what you feel comfortable writing. I tried writing a novel, 2 different novels. One, I got into chapter 3 and my computer died and I never saved the files anywhere else, and it was going to be sort of a sci-fi thing. The other time I start realizing I've totally imitated some other writer. I've written for magazines. I used to write for the Tolkien Society of America, and I've had articles published. I've had things published in other things. I've had a couple of poems published in national anthologies. Pete, you say my trains are going faster than normal? That's funny because I've actually got them slower than normal. I've got them all going fairly slow. Hey, Steve Childers, nice to have you here. Ooh, oh, people are talking cheese here. Yes, I did say I've got my all my double deckers going today. Now the big news in my world is Märklin, the company that makes 80% of my trains. Märklin had a big 1.5 hour video introducing their new stock and then released their catalog today. I'm going to say I'm very disappointed in the catalog. Not that they don't have a lot of cool quality stuff, but just nothing aimed at me. Nothing in my genre that I'm interested in. That's like 2 years in a row where last year there were a couple of things I was interested in. I wound up buying them. But yeah, the Märklin new product line this year is very disappointing for me. Not that it's not beautiful stuff and gorgeous stuff, just not anything aimed at my Era 6. They're re-releasing some red Regio Bond cars, which I do need, but these are older model retoolings and they're not lit up, so I don't want them. Hey, Ed Sutherland, how are you? Welcome in, welcome in. We're up to 22. So, Rocco has a few things I'm interested in, and Pico has one train I'm interested in, but Rocco's got at least 2. And we're in January, and the ICE4 is still slated to be released in January, and it hasn't been delayed yet. When it was announced for December, in the end of November, they said, yeah, it's January now. Well, we're still in January, and they're still saying January, so who knows? It might be released next week. They did have a running version of it on their layout during their announcement yesterday. They did have an ICE4 set up and running on their layout yesterday, but they didn't talk about it. Well, hi there, Z Fantasy Trains. Welcome in, welcome in. Is there anybody who's come in I have missed? So yeah, that was sort of the big news, big deal for me this week as far as trains go. So yeah, work was just very busy. Our state and our school district announced that at the end of February we are all going back into the classrooms. We're doing what's called a hybrid schedule, where I will have half my students one day and the other half the next day. To keep social distancing, half my students one day and half my students the other. Now, how they're going to control social distancing in the hallways and the lunchroom, yeah, that's going to be fun. Plus, I have to clean my room after every class. I have to go through all the desks and spray clean them, so it's adding a lot of work. Plus, I still have to provide work for the students that aren't coming in that day. So it's literally doubling the work hours. I don't know how I'm going to have free time. Oh, hang on, Andy. I'm going to knight you, first of all. I now declare you a knight of the Rotten Boy table. All right, Andy, you can now advertise your YouTube channel if you got one. You can post links to it. I buy almost all my Märklin and Rocco stuff from a German train shop called Modellbahnshop Lippe, which is in the city of Detmold, Germany. They are the best online train shop. I could get trains from Lippe, from Germany, cheaper and much faster than I can get them from online shops in America. So Modellbahnshop Lippe. These companies get the trains with the German train sites, the German model train shops. They get the new models within a week of them being released. Usually within 2-3 days. From the time they leave the factory, they're on the shelves at these shops in Germany within 3 days. Really small shops, maybe a week. It takes another month to 2 months to get them in America. Plus, I can order from Lippe. It will be shipped on Monday, and it'll be on my doorstep Wednesday or Thursday at the latest. So 3 to 4 days shipping. It will be shipped Monday and on my doorstep Wednesday or Thursday of that week. If I buy from the big American stores, minimum of a week. The big American store for European trains is Renaud's, although I like AJC Kids better. AJC Kids out of Texas. I think they're better. But they don't necessarily have the variety, the stock that Renaud's has. But customer service is 10 million times better. Shipping is better. Turnover time on the order is a lot better. And prices are about the same. The problem is, as much as I love AJC Kids and think their customer service is the best in the world, other than Lippe, I can get a train for $100 to $200 cheaper straight from Germany than I could from. Well, let's put it this way: if it's a $600 train, if I'm going to pay $600 from AJC Kids, I'll get it for $475 from Lippe. Okay. Andrew T, how are you? And let me see. Oh, hey, Randall Ellison is here. Good, good, good. Oh, man, we need snow here. We haven't even had rain lately. And I'd rather have snow than rain here, but we have not even had the one big snowstorm. We had some snow before Christmas for a change. We had a white Christmas, barely, but it was a white Christmas. But we've had really no precipitation here. And that's what people don't understand. You're like, oh, at least there's no snow. You got to have precipitation. You need rain. You need the moisture. Okay, let me look this up real quick, and I will post a link. That's not what I was trying to do, dummy. All right, so really, we're gonna play this thing? This is why you're retired and down here, you old computer. You're too slow. You don't do what you got to do. But there, Andy, if you're into Märklin, Rocco, Pico, if you're into European trains, I just posted a link to Modellbahnshop Lippe. Again, and if you really want to save money, you spend the $50 a year, American, $50 American. And I don't think they change. I think it's like 50 pounds, $50, 50 Canadian dollars. And you join their Premier Club. And if you join their Premier Club, you get even bigger benefits. So yeah, we're supposed to be getting some good snow next week, but Toledo, where I'm at in Toledo, Ohio, USA, we're a very weird situation. The city of Toledo is actually in a depression at the butt end of Lake Erie. So storms have a habit of coming to Toledo and then doing that. I don't know if you're seeing my hand gestures there. Splitting, going north, going south, and not really. Like 10 miles north of Toledo, 8 inches of snow. 10 miles south of Toledo, 8 inches of snow. Toledo will get 2 inches or less. But yeah, let me go back to the one thing I was babbling about is everybody saying, hey, wow, we're up to 29 people. Is there a good... But, I mean, if you guys don't, it gives something for the show to look forward to. I just got a bunch of episodes, and the worst thing is, episodes 4 and 5, I think, are the funniest. They're my favorites, and I want to show them because I want everybody laughing at them, or at least hoping that everybody laughs at them and make my self-esteem go up. Because I am so desperate to show them, because I have been laughing at them while I'm writing them, laughing at them while I'm editing them, laughing at them while I'm building them. Episodes 2 and 3, they were funny when I wrote them, they were funny when I filmed them, but I've watched them a few times now, and the humor's starting to wear off. Now, I plan on showing episode 2 at 4 o'clock. I usually do 4 o'clock, half an hour into my live stream. That's when I do the, hey, there's all the double-deckers, the Dostok together. But again, if you haven't seen episode 1 of Matt Clark, Railroad Detective, you can go to my YouTube main page and watch it real quick. It's about 4 minutes, including the introduction. Nancy Mueller, hi. Good. I've been waiting. See, I'm a horrible person. I'm sitting there, wow, I haven't heard from Herb in a while. Do I write? No. Because right now I've got like 2 things on my stupid head. I'm writing my stupid cowboy bit, and I'm working, doing my job. But good, I will look forward to it, because there are a couple of things I do want to buy from Herb. I just forgot about it, but I'm still trying to see if I can go to Germany. I just don't know how or when. I'm going to be really, really suicidally depressed if we can't go to Germany this summer. But I plan on 4 o'clock. Now, I expect a bunch of you are going to leave at 4 o'clock to go over to Robert's, who is Robert's Train Room, I think is, I'm subscribed, who has announced he's going live at 9 o'clock UK time, 4 o'clock Eastern US time zone. But, yeah. Well, where is it? Where is it? Oh, it's gone. There we go. Yep. Sorry about that. Hit the wrong button. Grandson celebrated his 1 month. Turned a month old Wednesday. Turned a month old Wednesday. So my grandson is doing well. He is actually starting to smile, smiling in his sleep. So, I can't help it. Maybe you're not supposed to be that geeky and giddy about a grandbaby, but we've been waiting for a long time for a grandchild. Joyce has been desperate, and there's been things, but now that finally it's there, I can't help it. I was thrilled when I became a father, and being a grandfather might be better because I don't have to deal with the negative side. I just get the positive side. Does he? I think he actually looks a bit like his dad and a bit like my wife's father. Now, Dodge genes, our family genes have a habit of, our DNA tends to win out. We tend to take over. Like all my cousins and my brother and I, my grandfather, my father, some are skinnier, some are fatter, but we're from a clone factory. All the Dodges are a clone factory. My second daughter and my son looks just like me, sadly. My oldest daughter did inherit quite a bit of my wife's mother's side, because they've got a very strong DNA. So she kind of inherited maybe a 55-45 split. 55 Dodge, 45 the Park family. The other two kids are 100% Dodge. So, yeah, we're excited about that. But anyhow, yeah, I guess, now I don't know if somebody would say maybe not to that. Did I hear Rick is here? Which Rick is here? Rick Bailey is here. Sorry I didn't say hello. Hi, Rick Bailey. Nice to have you here. Well, in that particular picture, I see a lot of Joyce's father. I see a lot of Joyce's father there. So it's kind of sad because her dad was a really cool guy. And he died 10 years ago. It's been 10 years, and it seems like I just talked to him last week. He died 10 years ago. Her mom died 5 years ago, going on 5 years, 4 years ago. But good night, Andy from G, wherever G is. 10 p.m. there, which means you're somewhere in Western Europe. Because it's 9 o'clock in the UK and Ireland, and then it's 6 o'clock from France and Portugal and Spain over to Poland. I don't know exactly where it was. You are in Germany. Ausgezeichnet. Auf Wiedersehen. Guten Abend. Schlaf gut. Gute Nacht. Schlaf gut. Yes, if you are German, I speak German. If you're an American in Germany, I still speak German, but I also speak American if that. And we're back. I still think it's YouTube. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play episode 2 for those of you who are sticking around and not going over to Roberts. You're, of course, I personally try to never go on when somebody else has, and of course this is now kind of scheduled. I do this all the time. If I see somebody else is on, I never try to go on, but I don't care if other people go on. I don't care if somebody's doing a live stream here, somebody's doing that. I personally do look and try not, but there's just too many people out there. There's just too many people. Somebody's live streaming somewhere. If I'm subscribed to somebody and I know they've got time schedule, I don't do it myself, but I don't get offended if somebody does it, and I don't get offended if somebody leaves me to go there, because Robert's got more cool stuff and shows more cool things than I do. On my behalf, nobody makes cool songs or does stupid cartoons like I do. Speaking of stupid cartoons, if you weren't here for episode 1, Matt Clark, Railroad Detective, last week, Sheriff Buck M. Dannon from the town of Big Gulch, has just learned that Bobby the Kid has escaped from prison and is on his way to Big Gulch to settle scores. Bobby the Kid is the greatest train robber ever, and he has robbed every train except one, the Big Ten Black Mamba. And the last time he tried to rob that train, he was stopped by our fearless hero, Matt Clark. So, Mayor Sumbish and Matt Clark, or I'm sorry, Mayor Sumbish and Sheriff Dannon are happy to learn that Matt Clark has just arrived in town. So that's where we shall pick it up. And again, a couple of things sometimes come in soft, so just hang in there. We'll see how it goes. Here we go, episode 2.
Gosh, Diesel Dan, where's Matt? He was supposed to be on this train, wasn't he? Yes, Smokey, but he's got to get the passengers off first. Oh, look, Dan, there he is. Matt! Matt! Over here, Matt!
Are you last in town?
Howdy, Matt. Sure glad to see you again. How was Sarsaparilla? Did you catch Hunko Beef? Hunko Beef? Who's he?
Why, he's the most fiendish of criminals, Smokey. An Irish cattle rustler.
But gosh, Matt, you're a railroad detective. Why are you after someone who steals cattle? Hunko Beef doesn't steal cattle, Smokey.
No, Smokey, he actually rustles them. He stages fake wrestling matches on trains, and then he robs the passengers by fixing the matches. The cows are in on it. We got word they were on the 747 out of Flagstaff to Sarsaparilla. So I made sure I was on that train and got him.
Wow, Matt, you're the greatest.
Excuse me, could one of you gentlemen help a lady down? Oh, my apologies, ma'am. Matt Clark, railroad detective, at your service.
Thank you, sir. Did you say you were a railroad detective?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so you're a train dick. Why, he's one of the best and most famous, ma'am. That is nice to know. I'm Donna, Madame Donna Lott, the new, headmistress at the, Big Gulch Young Women's Boarding School and Social Club here. The what? You know, the Itchy Crush Club. Oh, you mean the cat house pretending to be a women's social club. Smokey, I think we need to have a talk with you later. Anyhow, could one of you gentlemen get my case? It's a dusty green suitcase under the bench up in the car. I just couldn't quite get under there to get it. At my age, I find it so hard going down.
No problem, ma'am. Hey, Diesel Dan, grab the old bag.
Hey, put me down.
I'm enter luggage, Dan.
Oh, my apologies, ma'am. Normally you'd get charged a silver $50 to do that, sir.
Smokey, could you grab my bag and run it over to the Squeaky Spring Hotel?
Sure thing, Matt. Do you want your same old room?
No. Tell them I would like the one without the bed bugs this time, Smokey.
Bye.
Matt Clark? Wait up there, Matt. Well, hello, Mayor. How are you doing, you old sunbish? Well, I'm just fine, Matt. But I'm glad I found you here. We have a problem. Well, what's the matter? You sound serious. It's Bobby the Kid, Matt. He's escaped the Hooskow and he's on his way here to rob the Black Mamba and steal it and settle all scores with us. Oh, well, we've dealt with him once. We can deal with him again. Well, it sure eases my heart to hear you say that, Matt. Well, I'm sure you'll want to settle in, Matt. We can talk more about it later. We're having a welcome back party for you over at the Donner restaurant. Hope you will come and say hello to everyone. A Donner party? Yes, Matt. They want to put up their best for you. I don't know. I guess I should. But their food disagrees with me. Really? I just love their finger sandwiches. Well, I will say their ribs are kind of sparse, though. All right, I will stop in for a bit. I suppose the guest of honor should show up. That's mighty kind of you, Matt. They'll all be thrilled. They've been working a skeleton crew lately, but I'm sure they'll pull all the stops for you tonight. See you there. Yeah, you still have to see episode 1 that sets up part of the plot. But still, like a play, scene 1, scene 2, scene 3 are all introductions. Well, that's what you have to wait and see in scene 3. But again, scene 4, which would be 2 weeks from today if I just keep doing one episode per live stream. Scene 4 is just absolutely wild, and scene 5 might be even wilder. Scene 4 might require me putting an 18 and under age restriction. Starting to get interesting. The innuendos haven't even begun yet, although they are there. I haven't even written the scene at the cat house yet. I've got 5 scenes done. I'm writing scene 6. Scene 6 is where, scene 5 is where you meet the bad guy, finally. And scene 6 is a continuation of the bad guy and his plot. Uh-oh. I see spinning wheels of death again. Now, little inside story. Joyce was going to do the voice of the cat house lady, of Madame Donna Lott. And she sat down here trying to get a voice. And I kept trying to coach her to do a high-pitched, very upper-class East Coast accent. And Joyce could not do it. In her entire life, Joyce has never tried to do impressions. She has never, ever tried to do voices. Even when she was learning a language, trying to get her to work on the accent was always very difficult. She's just never tried to do... So after about an hour of trying to record that scene, her lines, because what we do is, just to try to maintain integrity, we do the, whoops, well, it's coming through. We record one character's lines at a time, and then I go into the editing room and splice them all together. So I'll do all the Matt Clark voices, I'll do all the Mayor Sumbish voices. So Joyce was doing all the Madam voices, and we worked on that for half an hour to an hour, just her doing those voices. And I recorded, took her best bit, but then I said to heck with it, and I recorded it, and it was mean, but I decided mine was better than hers, and it really is. Wait, who? Who ended his stream? Did I end my stream? Oh, Randall, Smokey is going to have a couple of amazing scenes coming up. Again, I want to show you, I want to load up the other 3 scenes I have filmed. I want to load them up right now and just let you watch them all. But then it would be weeks before you'd ever see another part, because I am struggling to get through scene 6, although I finally got some things done, and I know where I want it to end. I know how I'm going to end it, but I've got like 2 or 3 scenes I've got to get to the climax and the denouement part, and I'm struggling getting through them. I'm finally working on scene 6 after like 2 days of not writing. I wrote a little bit of scene 6 while watching Heath's show today. Oh, so Robert's... But yeah, I always have to warn people, if you're offended by sexual innuendo jokes, you do not want to see most of the following episodes, because the innuendos are going to be flying. There's a lot of pubescent humor. There's a lot of very pubescent humor. You know, the 14-year-old boy that laughs every time somebody farts, you know. I haven't done a fart joke yet, but that sort of idea. Ooh, cool. Chris has got another A4 going. So 26 A4s. He's got more A4s than I have trains. But as I get more comfortable with the, you know, I'm not an animator. I don't have programming that allows me to animate. So I basically took a page from the original South Park, except I'm not even putting that much work into it. I just I pick a background, found some pictures on Google Images, and just said, okay, that's this character, and pop it up there. By the way, the picture of the woman, Madame Donalot, the madam, the cat house madam. That woman in that picture was a cat house madam. She ran a whorehouse out west in the late 1800s. Kit Bash an A4 into a black man. No, actually, the best model would be the big boy, the Union Pacific big boy. Because again, if you didn't see episode 1, there's a picture of the Black Mamba in there, and yes, guys, that train got that name for a reason, and those jokes are coming. I mean, they were already there, but there's worse coming. Well, hello, Jeff Taylor from Texas. Jeff, I run German 3-rail trains, and I use a central station. I don't have an easy way to, yeah, I can't move that one. I have a central station 3, but then I also have it tied into my mobile stations, and I have it on 2 computers as well, but it's all centered on my central station 3 right here. Let me do something stupid. No, I can't. I can't even do something stupid. I don't have any way to show that off. So yeah, I run German trains, German and Austrian, and 1 Czech train. I have 1 train from the Czech Republic. They're almost predominantly Märklin with a couple of Roco and Pico. I run modern era, anything after 2005, other than I've got 2 steam locomotives I recently acquired that are from the 1920s and 30s because I decided I wanted a couple of steam locomotives, but I'm not buying any more. That was Goody Two-Shoes, Kieran. Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Don't drink, don't smoke. What do you do? Subtle innuendos follow. Must be something inside. Which is funny because he does smoke and drink now. Well, Jeff, in a lot of ways I can relate because the last time I played with a model train was 1970, and then I didn't touch a model train until 2015, so 45 years between model trains. I had a little Lionel Super Chief, whatever, freight train, one of those standard kits my father bought me for Christmas of 69, and I played with it through 70. I wasn't into trains, let's just put it that way. And then I spent a few years traveling in Germany with students. I got involved in a student exchange program, and I would take my students to Germany, and then German students would come here, which was really cool for a urban high school to take these kids, because I took kids to Germany that had never been out of our county before. And we're a big city school. Well, big city, not New York big, but 350,000. But I took kids to Germany, and we rode the trains everywhere, and I fell in love with the train system, and I finally decided I wanted to have some trains in my classroom because we loved the train system, and that went from classroom to home. Kieran, the song is called Goody Two Shoes. But, to me now, I could not go back to analog. And that's just it. When I got into trains, I got into American, and American is digital. American's been digital since the 80s. In fact, there's quite possibly American invented digital model trains. Started this. They first introduced it in 1979. But they didn't release their first actual digital train until 85. But American they have inexpensive trains, but they're not cheap. They don't have the $100 locomotive or the $150 startup kit. Probably the cheapest startup kit with a train and loco is about $225. But so everything was digital. Everything was already digital, and I couldn't go back to analog because digital is easier. You just buy a digital train. Don't even, like in England and the United States, you can buy things that are DCC ready. I just say spend the extra money, buy it already chipped and digital, and get the controllers. It's a lot less wiring work. You still do a lot of wiring and soldering. Now, I would try to convert you to 3-rail, but there's not a lot of American stock in 3-rail, although American does release American trains. In fact, American released the Big Boy last year. The old steam locomotive, what is it, the 4014 Big Boy? I got a big layout. I appreciate people who like it. I got a big table, but I really don't have much of a layout yet. I just have lots of track to run because that's me. I'm more about running trains. We don't use the P word here. I'll say it once and then you will never hear it again. Prototypical. We don't do prototypical. The only thing that is the P word is my station. Let's go to it. My station here is a 100% scratch-built model of the city of Delmenhorst, which is the city I took my students to every summer for 15 years. And so this station was the city station, and I am slowly, very slowly, as in snail's pace, building the town of Delmenhorst, or a section of the town of Delmenhorst is more accurate. But it's taking forever, including that's the bus station you can see there with the Fowler car system. You do proto-representative. Yeah, I mean, yeah, always rule one, and it's what I want. Yes, in some ways I look at layouts where everybody did the amazing layouts and go, that would be cool, but then I go, how would I fit Delmenhorst in that? But also, I just wanted to run lots of trains. Now, I could have run 2 or 3 lines. Now, Delmenhorst is a 3-line station, but the 3 lines combine down to 2 about 2 miles each way outside of Delmenhorst. And I could have just run a couple lines of trains and run 2 trains at a time, but I really like to run lots of trains. So this soothes my ADD. Now, my model trains are usually in a near proper consist. For example, coming right here, let's get to it quick. This red guy is called a Regiobahn. He will be 3, 4, or 5 cars plus a locomotive and the control cab at the end. So it can be, I've even seen it where it's like 2 cars in the control cab, but that's in Eastern Germany where the population's a little lower. But usually it's 3 or 4 cars plus the control cab. But that blue one here, those metronomes are always a locomotive, 4 cars, and then the control cab, always. And then this white guy coming here, which is called the IC2, they are always 4 cars, locomotive, 4 cars, and a control cab, or just 5 cars if you want to call it that. They are never any different. Now this railjet, this is an Austrian high-speed train. That railjet is always 8 or 9 cars, or a double consist of 8 cars. Locomotive, and then 8 cars counting the control cab, or 9 cars counting the control cab. And then the ICE just flew around, the German high-speed train, the ICE. Those are also 8 cars, that's the ICE3. Those are always 8 cars, 9 cars, or a double 8. Although the new ICE4s can be 7, 8, 9, 14, 16, 18. The ICE4s are a little different. Hi, Mystic. And hi, Flymo. Welcome, guys. So I try to have my trains in proper consists, if possible. But like that blue guy in the background, that diesel unit, those are always in groups of 3 or more, but they only make 1. And they don't make dummy versions of it. And it's really expensive to try to buy those. Those are almost as expensive as a full train, that little diesel unit. That little blue and yellow guy that's going to be coming around. Not this yellow and blue guy. There he is in the background there. That guy right there, that little short diesel guy. Those are usually in 2 and 3, but I can't find them. All right, so you got the ECOS. The ECOS is fantastic. There's 3 big digital controllers. There's the ECOS, which is by ESU. There's the Märklin Central Station 3, and then there's the Z21 by Roco, or Z21 as we call it in America, but in German, Z21, well, Z21, and the UK guys use it a lot, and it's called the Z21 there, so I tend to call it the Z21. There is no difference between an ECOS and a central station. They're equally prime machines. They're awesome. Some guys prefer the ECOS. Some guys prefer the Märklin. I just find the ECOS is awesome, but Märklin and trains made for Märklin get along a little better with the Märklin Central Station 3. Actually, I had an ECOS first, and then I sold it and got a Central Station 3. My ECOS had no problems with my Märklin. It had problems with my Rocos and Picos that were made for Märklin. Now, it was a used one, and maybe it just had a glitch in it that they don't normally have. But since I've had my Märklin, I don't have problems with anything. It runs all my trains. I am running this entire layout with 1 Märklin Central Station with 1 set of wires powering it. I have 1 primary power wire, and that's it. I don't have any other dropped wires anywhere else, and I'm running 6 trains. with no power shortage. That's how great the ECOS or the American Central Station is. Now the Z21, the difference between a Z21 and an ECOS or American is the Z21 doesn't come with its own control screen. It's designed to be used with a tablet, a smartphone. Now you can use your ECOS or your Central Station 3 with a tablet and that as well, but they also have their own display screen. So the Z21 is cheaper. So if you want to get into digital, you can spend $200 to $300 or up to $400 and get a Z21, and then you just need a tablet as well. And then it does the same thing. The difference is the Central Station 3, I don't need a tablet. The screen and control system is already built into the unit. So that's the only difference. They all do the same thing. Now, a Z21 is a little limited. A Z21 cannot do all the high-end stuff that an ECOS and a Central Station 3 can do, but the vast majority of people aren't going to do those high-end things anyhow, because you're not going to run these full integrated crazy systems. No, that's just it, Tim. I do not have to use boosters. Wait, who's Joseph? Where's Joseph? Did Joseph come in, or is somebody... Oh, Joseph. Hey, Joseph, there you are. Greetings from Toledo, Ohio. Yes, yes. Hover Motion is a great guy. That's why Jim at Hover Motion and I have clicked. We talk a lot. Jim's awesome. I love Jim. I just think he's awesome. His layout is amazing. But where Jim and I connect is a connection. He does German European trains. I do German European trains. He does the DC version. So he does Trix and Fleischmann and Rocco and Pico. But when he does Trix, he can relate because Trix is just the DC version of Märklin. If you love one of my Märklin trains here, there's a Trix version of it that's DC instead of, well, I'll say 2-rail instead of 3-rail. See, that's the problem. DC has two meanings in the train world, at least to those of us that run 3-rail trains. You guys compare DC versus DCC, but we also compare AC 3-rail versus DC 2-rail. So you can have DC that is analog, and then DC which is digital, which you guys call DCC. To us, DC means analog or 2-rail trains. To you other guys. But anyhow, yeah, yeah, that was made by Märklin. Märklin made that, and Trix, that DMU that had the opening doors. It came out, it was really popular, they sold out, and you can't find, if you find somebody selling it on eBay, they're selling it for 2 or 3 times what they originally paid for it. But they only did that tech once, and they never went back to it because the screens fade. They start to turn red and pink. And after like 2-3 years, they don't look that good. But yeah, that was the, in fact, well, you can't see it. Maybe you can see it from this view. No, not that view for sure. Nope, you can't see it. I've got the same train, but it doesn't have the digital doors on it. Mine is a remake of it, but it doesn't have the digital doors. Because, yeah, they did that tech 1 year and just decided the tech wasn't working, so they never went back to it. Okay, Tim, take care. Thanks for stopping by. Always great to see you. And see, I'm an electric guy. I realize I prefer the electric trains and locomotives. Joyce hates diesel. She didn't even want me buying my diesel Alex train that you can see right at the bottom of my screen over there. My diesel Alex there, just the locomotive's just past the little platform there, because she hated riding on the diesels. She hates the smell of diesel. She hated riding on the diesel trains. She loves the electric. So I'm an electric guy, but I have diesel because basically the rule is I have to ride on the train to have it, except for the steam. I know, except for the steam. Yeah, I'm in Toledo, Ohio. Somebody already mentioned it. Yep, Toledo, Ohio. We're on the butt end of Lake Erie. The Maumee River is a 10 to 15 minute walk out my door. And the Maumee River is actually a wide river. It's actually wider than the Rhine in its section in Toledo. It's actually wider than the Rhine, but it's shallower. It's a very wide river, and then it narrows very quickly. We're Toledo, Ohio, right on, well, we're about 7 miles south of the Michigan border. We're in the south end of Toledo. Now see, Jeff, I'm the opposite. I gotta have the cold. I like having 4 seasons. I hate the heat. I could never live, for a lot of reasons, I could never live south of the Ohio River. But I gotta have snow. In winter, I've gotta have snow. I will never give that up. My dad was that way. My Uncle Dale, he had lung cancer in his late 70s, and they told him he would live longer if he moved to Arizona. And he said, nope, he wasn't leaving. And he wound up, he died much sooner than maybe he would have had he moved to Arizona. But he wasn't going. He wanted the north and the cold in the winter. But yeah, we love. I love the snow. I love the cold in winter. I like spring. And to me, anything over 80 degrees is too hot unless I'm near a pool. I turn the air conditioning on as soon as it gets 80. I would love to hit that part of Alaska too in the winter. And again, I wouldn't want to live where it snows, where it's snowy 12 months of the year. But between end of November and beginning of March, give me snow every day. Now, some sarcastic people will say, but you're also a public school teacher and you get all those days off when the snow's really bad. Yeah? What's your point? I wouldn't mind moving up to Minnesota. I wouldn't have minded moving up to Minnesota. Just the pine forest and very Germanic up there. Because that's the worst thing in the world. Ever since I started visiting Germany in 2003, as a kid I wanted to move to Germany because I had 3 grandparents and an aunt that were from Germany. And I grew up just loving Germany and always wanted to visit, but I didn't make it to Germany until I was in my 40s. Well, I was 40 the first time I went to Germany. Oh my God, I'm in love with Germany to the point where I would move there tomorrow if there was a way, but there's no way, A, we could move there, and B, Joyce and I are not going to leave our kids. We love our kids too much, and that grandbaby's just one more anchor. But so for the last, since 2003, for 15 years, I took my students to Germany, and for the last couple of years, except this past summer, since our exchange program ended, Joyce and I go to Germany on our own. So it's the first time we've actually traveled abroad without kids. The last couple of years, 2019 was our last time in Germany because we didn't go in 2020. We booked a trip in 2020 and COVID killed it. We're hoping to go this summer, but can't. Normally I'd be booking our trip now. I'd have everything booked now, but we can't book it. Yeah, Texas, I've been to Texas, and yeah, the humidity and the heat are just killer. No. I couldn't handle it. No, Toledo works for me, although Toledo gets humid in the summer. We can get in the 90s here and high humidity in August, July, end of July, and a lot through August. But then we'll have just dry heat in the 90s for a week or so. And then we'll also have a hot week in September. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to see in April if things get better, if they start lifting travel bans. I don't know, but if they lift the travel bans in June, maybe Joyce and I will try to go in July, because we've already got our plane tickets. We fly out of Canada because it's way cheaper than flying out of Detroit. It's only an extra 45 minutes to go from the Detroit airport to Windsor airport, and we save $1,000 or more each on plane tickets. It's ridiculous how much cheaper it is out of Canada. And when we bought our tickets last year, they said, well, we'll give you 60% of your ticket price, or you can just keep the money here, because a cancellation fee. You're the ones who canceled the flights, not me, and you're still going to charge me the cancellation fee? So they kept our money because we get 100% of our money towards our next tickets, or we get 60% of our money back. So we've already got the money towards the tickets. So we'll see. I can only hope. Stephen, I have been in that area many, many times. My students would stay about like every 3-4 years. We'd take a special trip and we'd go to the Rhine. The first year we stayed in Koblenz. The next 3 times we stayed in, next 4 times we stayed in the town of St. Goar, which is between Koblenz and it's well, like 20 minutes by train south of Koblenz. We would stay in the town of St. Goar. Loved that town. Loved that area. My students loved it when I would take them there. But we go down to Bingen. We would take the train down to Bingen, and then we would catch the boat ride back up to St. Goar. So we'd take the train down to Bingen and then catch the boat ride and see all the castles along the Rhine going back up, and the kids just loved it. And then we'd take the ferry across to St. Goarshausen and go up the Lorelei, the famous cliff there, and check that out. That was awesome. And then we'd pick a couple of towns and go through the castles. Dame Z. But yeah, it's in St. Goar where I was exposed to Stefan's Wine Paradise Peach Brandy, which may be the greatest liquor beverage in the world. You have to have it. You can find brandy, you can find peach brandy, but until you've had Stefan's international award-winning peach brandy, you haven't had peach brandy. Oh my God, that stuff is amazing. Let's go to the multi-view for a while. Oh, let's do up the ramp. We got 2 guys coming up at the same time. Got the Regio-Bahn and the Railjet. Let you guys get a close-up, although most of you guys, I mean the new people here, but that's the Railjet closer to the camera, and then the Regio-Bahn. Regio-Bahns are regional traffic. Regio is region. That's the regional traffic. Quick, station. Bam, going through the station. Village View. Now, in reality, Railjets don't go anywhere near. The furthest north a Railjet would come is Munich, and Delmenhorst is about 6 hours, 7 hours north of Munich. All right, Chris, thanks for stopping by. Always glad to have you. But if anybody here is into Z-scale trains, Märklin, the company my trains are from, invented Z-scale. Märklin is the company that invented Z-scale. Märklin invented HO scale. Märklin invented scales. Märklin created trains 0 scale 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, of which 1 is still around. And then G scale was halfway between 0 and 1, but uses 1 scale track. So yeah, Meriklin invented HO scale. Meriklin invented Z scale. Meriklin was the first company to create multiple scales. So the thing is, all of you have been touched by Meriklin trains, even if you never heard of the company before me or somebody else's live stream. Meriklin is the largest model train company in the world. They make more model trains, they sell more model trains than anybody else in the world. They are the biggest boys in the business. But because they don't really do America, and they definitely don't do UK, they do like one American model a year at most. Sometimes they'll go a couple of years where they won't do it. But they are releasing an F9, I saw. A lot of variations of an F9, the American F9. Yes, Jeff, I do have the Fowler car system. I was trying to upgrade it and make it super digital and ran into a snag. It technically works. It just doesn't work the way I want it to work. I just don't have it turned on or the bus is running. I mean, I can run over there and start the bus running. And, well, let me do this. Let's see. Which guy? Whoops. There goes my phone with my messages. Do it again. Bow, bow, bow. Ah. Hopefully I don't blow everything up here, but we'll see. So there you can see he actually goes into the bus station. The problem is the stop motors aren't currently working. Yes, Stephen Price, Meriklin makes six Class 66. 4 they released last year and 2 more they released end of this past year. And then ESU makes several, and now the other German companies, Pico and Roco, are releasing Class 66s. I gotta get another bus. But see, when the other motors are working, which they're not doing right now, they would, the bus would actually pull in and stop for 2 minutes. I had it on a timer for 2 minutes. When I had it working before I tried to put it through it's not a decoder, but it's some sort of computerized chip thing with a decoder in it, I guess. But you'd plug it in, and then the thing is, it would operate so that only the bus would pull into the bus station and stop, and all other cars would go around. So only the bus would turn into the bus stop, and other cars would just stay on the outer circle. See, does the station view show it? There, we'll do that one, and maybe on this angle you might see the bus coming around. But I had it, if you go back to my videos from April, back when I used to do my show before I started doing live streaming and would do updates on my layout, I had it where he would pull in and actually stop at the station. He'd actually stop right there. He'd pull in there and wait for 2 minutes, and then the timer ends and it reactivates and goes. It was really cool. Well, Jeff, I'm 56, and this is all new to me. I mean, in the 90s, I considered myself somewhat of a techie guy, but I never worked in the tech industry. But in the very early 80s, I remember, well, in the 70s, I remember building a TRS-80 with my much older cousin Mike. And then when I got into high school in the late 70s, early 80s, I had a friend, Robert Sturgill, whose dad was a big computer guy back when computers were punch cards. And we would go, and I learned how to, solder and put in the diodes and the various memory things. But of course, when you had 1 megabyte of memory, that was awesome. Hey, this thing's got 1 megabyte of memory. Wow! And now we're into terabytes. I just got to watch. Eventually, when the battery starts to tire, he actually will go off track and crash into the trees or drive through the town. But yeah, so, in case people ever wanted to see it, there's the Fowler car system running as always. So you guys can enjoy that. You can't see it from this angle, sadly. I may eventually put a basic Fowler car system in this, well, I'm in the area that's showing here, this area. I have to build this area. All the buildings that are there are not staying there. That all comes out someday, probably not until I retire. Because I still have to build that side. That side looks nice, or looks like it's 80% of that comes out. 80% of that comes out. When I do that village, when you see this, 80% of that comes out or gets rearranged. That closest corner where the 2 trains are passing, that's where the city hall is, and that's what I want to build with my 3D printer once I learn how to design the building with my 3D printer. But it's set up kind of the way the city of Delmenhorst is near the train station. But I'll have the city hall and the market square there, and then some streets with buildings. But in reality, the city of Delmenhorst has 3 blocks between the city hall, market square, and the train station. I don't even have enough to build a full block, so you got to do a condensed version. All right, so let's go back to the multi-view. Jeff, my 3D printer is the Creality Ender 5 Pro, which is supposed to be their improved upgrade of their very popular, very successful, and very good Ender 3 Pro. The difference between an Ender 5 Pro and an Ender 3 Pro is an Ender 5 has a bigger area you can print on, but also the Ender 3, the Z-axis, on the Ender 3, the X, Y, and Z axis were all done by one motor. On this one, it's 3 separate motors. The X and Y are kind of linked, and then the Z, which is the up and down, operates by itself, which is supposed to be better. It does print well. You can see, well, let me grab something here. We're still at 24. Let's see, this camera. Okay, this I printed the other day after I fixed it. So nice little German style, probably in the style of Keebry or Fowler model buildings, maybe even Auhaugen. Now, I don't know how well this shows up. Do I have a way to demo it? My textbook for my students has got to be good for something. Now, if I hold this up to the camera, but I also want to see it, I don't know how well, there we go. Can you see what to you would be on your right-hand side? I think it's, is it the right-hand side? Or is it the left-hand side? You see how it bends up? Can you see that in the bottom right hand or bottom left hand corner? You see how it bends up? That's called warping. I don't know how well you guys see that. It bends up, it curves up. That's called warping, and that's caused by several different issues, and Joyce and I are trying to sort them all out. But again, a little sanding down and a little knife work, and this will be fine. I'll paint it up, it'll go on the layout somewhere, and it's one German building. And this took 12 hours to build. This took 12 hours to print up, which is a while, but it would take me a lot more than 12 hours to build a model like this. And then this one took 20 hours. This big, there's a lot of things you can make this office building, but it's a nice big corner building. I've got a plan for this in Dumb North, but again, oh, is it on this side? You can see in the other corner over here, yeah, down here, you can see it bends up, that warping. So it's a little frustrating. I haven't paid attention to the chat here. Who's talking? We're losing crowd fast. Yes, Randall, I did put my, I got the Fowler car system running. Let me make sure it's still running. Let's go Village View. Or has he gone off the road? Yep, he went off the road. See, I still haven't paved that yet because I actually have to fill that entire area with concrete. That whole area is one gigantic concrete slab. In fact, you have a couple of park areas and trees planted, but like basically my whole town's going to be one big slab of concrete. So I have to pour some, I have to take everything off of there and pour liquid leveler and let it solidify to make it concrete, because it literally is concrete from the train station up to the its sidewalks, its road, but it is basically a all concrete area. So eventually I'll take everything off except the Fowler Car Road, and I'm going to pour liquid leveler in there and let it solidify, and then I will build it. But you know, I've got to pave it. So what happens is there are a couple of bumps where I have tape, and he'll hit those bumps, and the tape is covering up holes that I haven't filled up yet. But he'll hit those, and poof, off he goes into the trees. Fortunately, no pedestrians have ever been killed. I don't have problems getting them off the hotbed. Does this auto level? No, you have to level it. That's why it was a $350 machine instead of an $800 machine. I would love to be able to afford the auto leveling, because that's one of the issues, but I've got it level now, and it prints nicely. The warping is caused by a combination of, as it builds its layers, up, the bottom cools either too fast or too slow. You have to find the right cooling speed of the plastic. How hot do you have the PLA, and how hot do you have the board? Because the board that it's built on is also heated, if you didn't know that. I don't want to tell you anything you don't know, but I like to just make sure everybody's on the same page. So the printing board is heated as well. And then as the plastic is extruded, it's heated up. And the PLA I use is good between 190 and 210 degrees Celsius. Okay, 190 to 210 Celsius. So, when I download one of these people's print models, because I didn't design this, somebody else did, and I stole it. I put it in, and they've got it preset at 200. So I've tried going up to 210. Nope. I've gone down a bit. Nope, it got worse. And then the bed temperature, they preset it at 60. Now I dropped it to 50, and I'm getting better prints now. I dropped the bed temperature to 50 Celsius, or what is 50 Celsius? 106 Fahrenheit. And by dropping the bed temperature to 50, it's adhering better. They also say sometimes it's caused because the plastic doesn't adhere to the base. It doesn't adhere to it. So there's a glue you buy, and you put this glue on, and it grabs the plastic, the extruded plastic, and holds it in place. Well, that has helped. That has helped. But it's not helping perfectly. So then they say buy a containment case. Keep the temperature consistent inside. Keep the heat temperature, and that'll allow it. Well, this basement is inconsistent and has drafts in it. So we bought a containment case for it, which is how I broke my 3D printer before fixing it again. Because the containment case, even though it says it's for my model, doesn't fit my model. And we snapped something out of a wire trying to put it in, and when we tried to plug it back in, we bent the prongs, and I found the prongs and fixed them, and now it's working again. We got the wire back in, but it does not fit into the containment case it's supposed to fit in. All right, well, take care. I'm here every Friday, 3:30 Eastern Time, U.S. time. And I go usually to about 5:30. Usually Joyce comes down and joins at about 5 o'clock. And also, I tend to have either joke songs or joke cartoons that I throw in my show. It's the only reason people come here. Actually, it's probably the reason a lot of people stay away. Timber is an expert in many things. Timber Surf is an expert in many things. But yeah, I've got my cowboy, my Matt Clark Railroad Detective show going. We just had episode 2 earlier today. And again, guys, you know I'll often show it twice, but if you guys say nope, once was enough, then, but if you want to see it again, or somebody who didn't see it wants to see it, because you know I do post it either right after the show or the next day. I post it separately anyhow. Oh, man, that scared me. It's just the angle of the camera. I was looking at pictures 1 and 2 on the screen and going, what the heck happened to my bookshelf back there? It's leaning heavily. And then I realized it's 2 different angles on 2 different cameras. Stupid moment. Yeah, resins do give you better. My problem is resins have to be vented outside. Resins have to be vented. And resin residue is actually, you can get it on your skin and accidentally, you know, lick your finger or something like that, and it's poisonous. And so with potential little kid, you know, with my grandson going to be around someday, it just made more sense for me to get the PLA as opposed to the resin. Also, I don't like to have to run out to my garage because I have a huge, well, not a huge garage, but in America it's a decent sized garage. It's what we call a 2-car garage. Actually, it's a 2.5-car garage. And I actually park my 2 cars in it. I have my table saws out there, my compound miter saw table, and my table saw. And I have a small router saw table out there for when I'm doing home reconstruction projects. But I don't want to have the resin printer out in the garage where I have to constantly run out there in the winter to turn it on, watch it, come back. See, I don't want to do it. I want it in the house, and I don't have any way of venting it out of the house. All right, well, they're both 3D printers. Andrew, the only difference is the media they use. Resin uses resin. Compound chemical resin. And a regular 3D printer, a regular printer uses plastic, either PLA or ABS plastic. So one uses resin, which is basically a glue product, a compound, it's either 2, 3, 4 parts that you pour in and it uses. But it produces toxic fumes, and the residue, when you go to sand it or scrape it off, the residue is toxic. So if you got cats so you really want a resin in a place that kids can't get to, animals can't get to. So a lot of people put them, like I think Paul App from Sandling Junction, I think he has a resin printer. He has it out in his studio garage, and he vented it out through one of the windows. Well, I could hire a pro to come in and drill a hole through one of the 2 windows I have in my basement at ground level and vent it out, but it vents out right next door to the neighbors on either side. Not exactly the best thing. Yeah, Ed, you said it much easier than I did. Plastic versus toxic gloop. I should have just gone there. Yeah, when I was a kid, we used to fix rusted cars with Bondo. You'd have to mix it up and put it on. You have variations of that. Now, obviously, the isocyanate bicarb is a different thing, but that's you literally can buy tubes of it. You get one of the companies is called Green Stuff. You can get that. I do think a 3D printer is worth the money. Sorry, Andrew, I didn't catch that question right away, and maybe other people will. I do. You can get fairly decent. I always look at the ratings. The Ender 3 Pro, there are top-notch guys who use an Ender 3 Pro. Even, I think Tristan from Double O'Neill has used an Ender 3 Pro for some of his stuff. Now, Tristan works in that field of computer-aided design, and he's got all kinds. He's got a laser printer, he's got a CNC grinder, and he's got all kinds of that, and some of his machines are quite high-end machines. And I don't say that in any negative way. He's just got the top quality machines. When I spend this money, I'm not poor, but I do have budgets. Partly so I can afford to go to Germany each year. I have my train budget, and that's my entertainment. But I don't bowl, I don't fish, I don't do any other hobbies where I spend money. So train is where I spend money. And Joyce is a cheap date. Joyce and I are opposites. I'm the shopper, and she's the tightwad. Joyce does not like to spend money, especially on herself. She'll complain about not having certain clothes that I like. So go buy some. Oh, no. Go buy. She'll look at something. She'll go, oh, this is $40. And I grew up poor. She grew up working class, but solid working class. I grew up poor, low working class to poor. But she's got that tightwad in her. It's like, Joyce, spend $50 and buy the sweater. Spend $100 and buy that jacket. She won't. She'll wait and put it on our Christmas list and then let me do it because she knows I'll spend it on her. But yeah, she's a tightwad. Speaking of which, she might be home. I don't know. Because my daughter is home. She didn't work today.
But 10 years ago, when I was more heavily into my tabletop wargaming, I would have been using my 3D printer to make prints. But again, is something worth the money? Yes. How much money do you have to put into it? If you only got $200, you're going to buy a cheaper one. It's not going to do the coolest things maybe you want it to do, but you're still going to love what it can do. But if you buy a $150 $200 one, it's not going to print up a gorgeous class 37 shell that fits on your double scale Hornby body where you dropped and broke the original shell. You're not going to get that fine day. You're going to have to spend $300 to $500 to get something that's going to do something of that quality. But you can spend $2,000 on a poly 3D printer, or up to $3,000 to $4,000 on a resin printer. A home resin printer. They have resin printers at my school because we have a 3D graphics art class that is taught by a good friend of mine who made some stuff for my layout for me. Now I can make it. And I have made I've tried to make about 12 buildings, of which 6 came out right. The others came out flubbed because I was learning how to adjust things. Yeah, the Prusas I hear are very good too. Yeah, and I understand that, Flymo. I mean, when Joyce and I were young, you got to remember, I was a teacher and she was still in school when we got married. She actually took a year off. And then I transferred jobs and lost my insurance. And then we found out we were pregnant with our first daughter after my first year of teaching. So Joyce wasn't working. I was on a first-year teacher salary and technically unemployed, found out she was pregnant. And when I got hired into Toledo Public Schools, where I've been working the last 30-some years, they didn't, pre-existing condition. They covered some of the doctor's visits, but we paid for our daughter's birth completely out of pocket. We had no insurance. And that set us back. And then she finished school, and then she started teaching. But when our kids were little, we weren't poor, but money was tight. Money was tight. And not as tight as it was for her growing up or me growing up, but it was still tight. We didn't have luxury money. Now we kind of can have some luxury money. If we need to drop a couple $100 on something, we can run out and drop it. But we also have 2 car payments, 2 insurance payments. We just put a new roof on the house that we have to pay for. We had our basement redone 4 years ago. All new weeping system in our basement. We had to take out a loan for that. And so even though we're making a heck of a lot more money, we're spending a lot more money. But I don't ever want to sound like I'm complaining. I chose to be a teacher, knowing it didn't pay a lot. But I live a hell of a lot better than my father ever did. I live in a small house. I know my basement looks huge, but you got to understand. I finished this basement off. Otherwise, it was just a big dungeon. And this basement is the same house as the living area in the rest of my house. This basement upstairs is my living room, kitchen, dining room, 2 bedrooms, and a bathroom. So divide this basement into that, and it's a small house by American standards. But I made this choice, and so there are choices I made. I could have waited a couple of years, spent a couple of years teaching, built up my savings before Joyce and I married. But when Joyce and I married, I was 23. She was 20. Just turned 21. I was 22, going on 23, and she was 21 when we married.
And we should have waited until she graduated from school and started working. So I should have worked a couple of years, and then we would have been a little better off financially. But hey, it is what it is. And I live better than 90% of the people on the planet Earth. I can't complain. Sometimes I do because, yeah, I would like to be able to spend all summer in Germany and not 4 weeks. But how can I complain about not being able to go to Germany this past summer when people are losing their jobs, losing their houses, and starving in my country, in my city? I would be a real selfish bastard if I complained about that. Hey, guess what? We have a visitor, a guest of honor. Oh, I turned the camera on her, she walked away. No, I'm not printing. No, this is not the most recent one. The most recent one is over there now. It came out. Oh, that's the Fowler car system ozone. Yeah, the old thing is down here burning away. The old transformer, so you get a strong ozone smell. Yeah. I should unplug it and just let the car run circles. But yeah, I want to get a new one. Because yeah, that's a 50-year-old transformer, and you do get an ozone smell with it. So hey, you need. Oops, that's over here. That's over here. Let's go over here. Oh, we got urban renewal going on. There you go. There you are. There you're situated.
Okay. Hi, everybody.
Exactly, Flymo. Exactly.
Oh, that's on your track.
Ah, yeah, you're right. God darn it! I even put the plexiglass up there to stop that. And what am I doing? Still draping a wire over it.
Nice.
I'm an idiot. My railjet would have hit that up. Toing.
Yeah. Phew.
Some people are.
Saved ya.
Yeah.
Got his back, you know.
Some people are stupid.
Oh. So, yeah, it was okay. It's smart. I videotaped myself, or I recorded myself giving the directions to the kids. Boy, did that make sense.
Oh, good.
So I'm down on the floor with these ramps and stuff.
Well, that's the problem. That's the
Those
problem
are
with.
really good directions, Mrs. Dodge.
Good. That's the problem with teaching from home.
Joyce, please explain.
Flymo.
Flymo.
See, the thing is, I see he's Flymo chairman, but I seem to recall, and maybe my memory's bad, but like Flymo was like an electric lawnmower.
I have no idea.
A Flymo was like
Sounds like a frisbee.
an electric. Yeah, it sounds like a frisbee to me too. But yeah, this is Joyce. If you didn't know it before, but yeah, that's one of the problems we have with our parents teaching from home. When their kids are having computer problems, like they can't log on, they're not getting the Wi-Fi, the parents will call and yell at us. My child can't get into your room. It's not my fault. I don't know what to tell you. My child can't log into your online classroom.
Yeah, I had one
I don't know.
yesterday. Nobody would let him in, and today I'm loading a chart onto his notebook. I also went. I wasn't even supposed to have him yesterday.
Oh.
It was the wrong class.
Yeah, look at that
That's a
memory.
lawnmower. Good
Damn.
job.
Yeah.
And office equipment.
And office equipment. Well, yeah, lawnmowers, office equipment.
They're like enough, yeah. Oh, online snooker. Okay. You do anything online, can't you?
Well, yeah, but some you get arrested for.
Yeah.
Hello, Andy
Kind of thinking
T741.
the same thing. How far does it cut the grass? Oh, interesting.
Yes.
Oh, the Karens. Yeah, the Karens, for sure. That mom is clearly a Karen.
Oh, yeah. Wow, I refreshed you and it ain't coming
It
back.
ain't coming back.
You're not getting any video image there. Oops.
Oh,
Oh, wait, something's coming in now.
Slowly. Slowly.
What was that all about?
Yeah, you're getting mini pictures.
Well, apparently we shouldn't refresh the screen. Oh, there it is. Now you're back.
Yeah, she's yakking away.
Okay. Well, yeah, you're still on and the chat's still on.
I know. So, anyway, yeah. But, no, yesterday was bad. I asked the kids, I said, did some of you get your report cards yesterday? And what? You know, I'm like, no, I already had it. A bunch of them went, yeah. Like, well, that explains a lot of the emails. Oh, our gorgeous little grandson. 8 pounds he's up to.
Oh, wow, cool.
He gained 2 pounds in 3 weeks.
That's good.
Yeah, it is. They were very happy with him.
So that just blinked down to, yes, it did.
I just leave it. Just leave it. Look what happened last time you tried to change it.
No, I will not put up with this. It will show it at the proper frame rate. Darn computer.
Well, yeah, no, it does.
Oh, wow, we had everybody at the 11 lane view.
Okay.
Woo, busy traffic. If you're ADD, you love that.
Yeah,
I do.
I know.
That's the problem. We're both ADD. You're ADHD. I'm just ADD.
Yeah.
You got that H. Huh.
Yeah, do I? Is it rocking here? No. No, not at all.
Yeah, I'm just ADD. You're ADHD. Sit over there, would you?
And he's in low percentiles. I don't know where that child came from.
Yeah,
All
our
of
kids
ours were giants.
were big.
Yeah.
Well, look at their dad.
Yeah, they were
Yeah, I mean,
big babies. He's in
but
the
then again, look at
teens.
their dad. Their dad's a, sorry, Chris, their dad's a hobbit,
Yeah,
comparatively speaking.
yeah.
See, I'm just over 6'3". Joyce is 5'7".
Correct.
Our daughters are 5'11" and 5'10".
No, 5'11", 5'11 and a half.
5'11" and 5'11 and a half.
We just avoided 6 feet.
So yeah, my two daughters are both 5'11" or taller. And then my son is
6'1", 6'2".
6'1" and a half to 6'2".
Yeah.
I really thought he was going to pass me and be taller than me, but he didn't. He stopped growing.
No, they were like, yeah. Oh, as Tony likes to say, ooh, shiny object.
No, see, Flymo, we call it ADOSO. Attention deficit, ooh, shiny object. My kids used to tease me and call it ADOSC, ADOSE. Attention deficit, ooh, shiny Charger. Because my favorite car is a Dodge Charger, and if I see a Dodge Charger anywhere, I'm like, ooh, yeah. I even have a Dodge Charger for my layout.
Oh, no, he's not, Ed.
I even have a Dodge 68 Dodge Charger for my German layout. Yes, Dodge cars will be on my German layout.
And I think he's 22 inches, so he gained an inch and a half.
That's good. Derek Simmons. Oh my God, it's Noah Glenn. You're not allowed to be here, Noah. You're underage.
How old is Noah?
Noah graduated from Bowser last year.
Oh, he's not that
Didn't you?
underage.
You did graduate. Weren't you a senior last year when I had you, Noah? Oh, yeah, I'm not knighting one of my students. Oh, hey, the bus crashed.
Oh,
The follow car bus, can you rescue?
yeah.
I mean, I can go around you, but it's just easier for you to get out. And I saw it on the Village View, I thought. Did you find him? Yeah, just turn him off. His battery's, he's been on for an hour, so his battery's gonna be running down. No, you would be a senior this year. Okay, I thought you were a senior in my class last year. Well, actually, Ed Sutherland, one of the largest Dodge Charger fan clubs is in the Netherlands, and the next biggest is in Germany. In fact, the newspaper in the city of Delmenhorst, where I used to take my students, when they found out I was Dodge and related to the car company, they did an article about me.
Oh, still feel bad.
Forget about it. It's ancient history.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and the thing is, we're not making jokes. We're not making jokes. We do have it. It's also quite possibly that I am on the autism spectrum. I had a teacher when I was little say I was on the autism spectrum, but back then autism was a catch-all term, but my parents wouldn't get me tested. But I do have some of the, I don't know, would you call it symptoms? The markers. Yeah, markers. So yeah, I am ADD, but I am off and on ADD because I can do the opposite where I can just sit and stare at 20 straight movies and not move.
That's actually a fun.
But that's also,
That's part of the ADD.
that is part of it too.
Hyper-focused.
Hyper-focused.
But anyway, that's alright. Oh, I'm sure she does. Yeah, it actually speeds up the brain.
Yeah, I did tell them that you tried to do the voice of Don a lot, and then I fired you from that one.
Yeah, I just don't have a good English accent. Sorry.
Well, it wasn't
guys.
English. We were just, you couldn't get up like
British.
this. You couldn't get up to that voice.
Yeah,
Hello.
it just wasn't
Hello.
right.
You just couldn't get there.
I couldn't get there.
You can't get your voice up like that. I can. That's the sad thing. I can get my voice higher than you can get yours. That shouldn't be. Oh, this is Mickey Mouse, everybody. See, you can never do Mickey in a million years. No, you can't get there. No, there's no way you can do Mickey Mouse. I can. Oh, this is Mickey Mouse. Oh, Kermit the Frog here. Shh, be very, very quiet. I'm hunting a school rabbit.
Did they like your episode 2?
Yeah, I think they liked episode 2.
Okay.
I mean, they didn't rave, give me the Oscar or anything, but I think they liked it. Joyce wanted to know, those of you who saw it, what did you think of episode 2? What did you think of episode 2 of Matt Clark? There, you got a brilliant.
There you go, good.
She's been my sounding board. I read things to her. If she laughs, I figure it's going to be good because my sense of humor can make her laugh, but also she can just reject it.
What? No way. I cringe. Yeah.
No, I can make you laugh in a lot of ways, but there are times where I do stuff where I think it's funny and you're just like,
yeah, get the eye roll.
I'm laughing in the inside. I'm laughing in here.
Well, for
You
heaven's
remember
sakes,
that? I'm
guys.
laughing in
Yeah,
here.
I know, in here. I do. Hit the like button, yins.
Ed, I didn't say they were better. I said they were wilder. They might be funnier. She's seen them and heard them.
Yeah. Yeah, he's building the story up.
Well, episode 3 is the Donner Party, and then the well, no, it's just the Donner Party,
Right.
and then episode 4 is at the saloon.
Right.
So you know that one.
Yeah.
Oh, the map alone is going to cause all kinds of hysteria.
I imagine it will.
I'm also worried that that music clip I used might get us banned. You know, like the way if I do a Beatles video,
Yeah.
it gets shut. I'm not doing Beatles songs, but I fear that might be one where the music. Yeah, I don't want to give away what song
It was awfully
you're
short.
singing.
Yes, I all of a sudden.
Yes, your voice came out amazing in that scene.
So good. So good.
Oh, Ed, the Donner Party goes much further. But yes, I did love if you didn't catch the finger sandwich joke and the ribs are kind of sparse, the skeleton crew.
Yeah, I'm getting too much away.
No, that was in this scene.
Oh, I see.
That was in
Okay.
today's scenes, all the Donner
Right.
Party jokes, but there's more to come.
Yeah, for sure. Sorry, what?
Wait, did Randall say, oh yeah, some company stopped by the house for a minute? Okay. The Donner Party, yeah.
Yeah, just,
Yeah, that was scene 2, where they reference it.
right.
And then the mail comes back. I'll say, now just what kind of a coward are you, Sheriff? The best kind, Sheriff. I keep surviving.
Yeah, that's a note.
Oh, I'm going to show it one more time. What the hell? Let him laugh or let him cry.
Gotta watch it again.
Gosh, Diesel Dan, where's Matt? He was supposed to be on this train, wasn't he? Yes, Smokey, but he's got to get the passengers off first. Oh, look, Dan, there he is.
I figured it.
Matt, over here, Matt.
Hi there, Smokey. I swear you've grown a foot since I was last in town.
Howdy, Matt. Sure glad to see you again. How was Sarsaparilla? Did you catch Hunko Beef? Hunko Beef? Who's he?
Why, he's the most fiendish of criminals, Smokey. An Irish cattle rustler.
But gosh, Matt, you're a railroad detective. Why are you after someone who steals cattle? Hunko Beef doesn't steal cattle, Smokey.
No, Smokey, he actually rustles them. He stages fake wrestling matches on trains, and then he robs the passengers by fixing the matches. The cows are in on it. We got word they were on the 747 out of Flagstaff to Sarsaparilla. So I made sure I was on that train and got him.
Wow, Matt, you're the greatest.
Excuse me, could one of you gentlemen help a lady down? Oh, my apologies, ma'am. Matt Clark, railroad detective, at your service.
Thank you, sir. Did you say you were a railroad detective?
Dick. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, so you're trained, Dick. Why, he's one of the best and most famous, ma'am. That is nice to know. I'm Donna, Madame Donna Lott, the new, headmistress at the, Big Gulch Young Women's Boarding School and Social Club here. The what? You know, the Itchy Crotch Club. Oh, you mean the cat house pretending to be a women's social club? Smokey, I think we need to have a talk with you later. Anyhow, could one of you gentlemen get my case? It's a dusty green suitcase under the bench up in the car. I just couldn't quite get under there to get it. At my age, I find it so hard going down.
No problem, ma'am.
At my age, it's so
Hey,
hard
Diesel
to go
Dan,
down.
grab the old bag.
Hey, put me down.
I'm enter luggage, Dan.
Oh, my apologies, ma'am. Normally you'd get charged a silver $50 to do that, sir.
Smokey, could you grab my bag and run it over to the Squeaky Spring Hotel?
Sure thing, Matt. Do you want your same old room?
No? Tell them I would like the one without the bed bugs this time, Smokey.
Bye.
Matt Clark? Wait up there, Matt. Well, hello, Mayor. How are you doing, you old sumbish? Well, I'm just fine, Matt. But I'm glad I found you here. We have a problem. Well, what's the matter? You sound serious. It's Bobby the Kid, Matt. He's escaped the Hooskow and he's on his way here to rob the Black Mamba and steal it and settle all scores with us. Oh, well, we've dealt with him once. We can deal with him again. Well, it sure eases my heart to hear you say that, Matt. Well, I'm sure you'll want to settle in, Matt. We can talk more about it later. We're having a welcome back party for you over at the Donna restaurant. Hope you will come and say hello to everyone.
A Donner Party?
All right,
Yes,
guys,
man.
look at the
They
station.
wanna
I
put
want
up
to see if
their
anybody
best
catches the
thing.
joke
I
there.
don't know. I guess I should. But their food disagrees with me. Really? I just love their finger sandwiches. Well, I will say their ribs are kind of sparse, though. All right, I will stop in for a bit. I suppose the guest of honor should show up. That's mighty kind of you, Matt. They'll all be thrilled. They've been working a skeleton crew lately, but I'm sure they'll pull all the stops for you tonight. See you there. Yes. Hey, Richard. I didn't see you come in. So yeah, that was episode 2. Episode 3 really starts ratcheting up, and then episode 4 and 5 get just crazy.
Nice touch.
Well, you got to be an American. Because the name of the town is Big Gulch, there are a ton of 7-Eleven jokes. You got to catch all the 7-Eleven jokes. Actually, he is coming, Pete. You've stolen one of our character names, but yeah. Ivor the engine driver.
Okay.
Ivor Big One. Oh, did you miss it again? All right, well, I'll be posting it probably fairly quick after this stream ends. Yeah, the first one's not getting a lot of views because I don't have any tags on it. All I did was tag, my live streams and that get lots of tags because I mentioned the Maryland trains and, anything I do with my stream that I think is a fair reference. If I wanted to get a lot of people to watch it, I could tag Elvis Presley or Beatles, but I don't do that. So this doesn't have a lot of tags. So that's the, so yeah, there are background puns and jokes too. Some funny, some just as stupid as the main stuff. But yeah, I mean, I sit here now, I am waiting for a week from now so I can show you episode 3. And then really waiting to show you episode 5. Episode 5 introduces a character.
Yeah.
Actually, it introduces several characters, but
Right.
oh my God, my UK friends will appreciate the character that comes in in episode 5.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the shooting scene is hilarious though.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Just change the name of the town to Merkland Town.
Nah, I can't do that. Maryland Town. No. Big Gulch. Big Gulch.
For the Big Gulch.
The cows are in on it. Yeah. Gosh, Matt, why would you arrest a guy who steals cattle when you're a train detective? No, Smokey. He was actually rustling the cattle on the trains, and the cows were in on it. He was fixing the matches, and the cows were in on it. Gosh, where's Matt, Dan? He had to get the passengers off the train first. Moo, moo. God, it hurts to do all those voices.
Yeah, it is hard.
And trying to keep them straight, that's the problem. I know in a couple of scenes, my Matt disappeared for a bit. I stopped doing... See, Matt is sort of an Elvis, and I try to do blends of voices, which is really tough.
Sure is.
So there's a little bit of, that, hey, baby, that Elvis Presley bit in Matt.
Mm-hmm.
But I want him a little deeper and more Western instead of more Mississippi. So, no, Smokey, it doesn't work like that. And then Dan's just that high-pitched friend voice,
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Dan. And then Smokey's just really high. Aw, shucks! Oh, that's going to come in so many times. Ah, shucks! No, Smokey. Ah, shucks!
The lack of any fences to hold those cows.
Indeed.
They were well trained.
Oh, it's, no, yeah, I did have a bit of writer's cramp, but I am starting writing scene 6, but scene 5 is done. I could show scenes 3, 4, 5 right now because they're done. They're in the book. They're hilarious, but yeah, Joyce keeps telling me, wait.
Drag them out.
Wait.
Get
Drag it out.
excitement. It's like you have to wait a week to get the next episode of a...
And then maybe once they're all done, I'll probably string it together as one big episode movie.
Do you have outtakes?
No, I don't have. No, the whole point of the show is they are the outtakes. No, there are times where, like when I'm recording, where I get the wrong voice going, or I lose the voice. What happened?
Yeah. No, Midsummer Murder was really cute. This is a little different.
This is different. I'm not into if somebody's better or not.
Yeah.
I think what he does is awesome.
Yeah, he's cute.
I have a history of doing stuff like this. You should see the shows my Bowser German Club used to put on.
Yeah,
we would do shows to raise money for our trip to Germany. And we weren't actors, but we wrote the funniest darn scripts. That's something I should put on someday is my students doing Big Bad Bear's Bad Day. The Big Bad Wolf's Big Bad Day, right. Oh, that is still hilarious, and that was written by my students and me. Mm-hmm. But, so yeah, I mean, I don't have any outtakes other than the cussing. The funniest bit would have been, and I don't have it saved, would have been when we were trying to get you to do Madame Lot. That would have been the funniest bit. You can see her laughing. She knows, trying to get her to do voices, because Joyce doesn't do voices. She can't do accents. Joyce, do a German accent. Yeah, she speaks German, but it's not a German accent.
No, not at all.
No, she can't even do a Southern German. Guten Tag, wie geht es Ihnen? Ich hasse Elvis. Yeah, Joyce can't even do Joyce, do a French maid accent.
Oui, oui, bonjour.
See, she can't do accents. So trying to get her to do a voice is just, no, Joyce, I want it to sound like this.
Yeah, so you're just getting variations.
Wow, Heath was here all this time? Cool.
I'm gone.
And now gone. Bye, Heath. Joyce's favorite candy bar.
I do like Heath bars,
So yeah, Joyce does struggle doing the voices. Although she is doing 3 voices yet to come. She's doing 3 voices yet to come.
Yeah, that's right.
No, there's 3 you've already done, and there's more to come after that.
I see, okay.
But there's 3 that you have not done yet.
I've only done 2 so far.
No.
Yeah, it's all right. We'll talk later. It's okay.
You've done Lil,
Yeah.
Annie,
Yeah.
and Daisy.
Oh,
Yeah, you did Daisy.
maybe I
The
did.
waitress.
Oh, right, I did. Never mind. You're right.
Yeah, you did. You did a dollop of Daisy.
I did a dollop of Daisy.
No, that's not how Daisy sounds anyhow. But
Whatever.
and Daisy's coming back in scenes.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember what I did.
Yeah. So you guys are hearing us talk about it without knowing what's going on. That's the suspension part.
Right. So. Anyway.
Well, that's Ed. That's why what I do is I write down notes of where I write down notes of what field. Like the sheriff, I write down a note, Yosemite Sam, but more Texas. So the sheriff is Yosemite Sam. Just
Well, then he records
don't
it
sneeze
all.
now, you idiot dragon.
He records it all at the same time too, and that helps.
So the sheriff is Yosemite Sam, but where Yosemite Sam is a little bit in the upper back of the mouth, the sheriff is lower in the mouth. So don't sneeze now, you idiot dragon. You'll blow us all to smithereens. That's Yosemite Sam. Don't sneeze now, you idiot dragon. You'll blow us up. That's the sheriff. Matt is a little bit of Elvis with a little bit of I don't know.
Seemed industrial.
All right, Flymo, take care. Thanks for stopping in. Well, that's why I read all the kids' bedtime stories, Ed. Or, yeah, was that Ed saying it? Yeah, I did because I didn't do them all, but I did because I do the voices.
To those kids all the time.
So did I.
Just not as exciting as you.
Oh, see, petty jealousy. 30 years later, she's still jealous. I just wasn't as exciting as you were.
So.
Okay, take care, Flymo.
Anyway, Jens, hit that like button on the way out.
Well, we're already up to 28. That's pretty good.
27.
No. 28. If I don't like myself, who's going to like me?
True that.
True that. So, it really, so I write myself notes on what range that voice is. And I'm not a voice actor. I mean, sometimes I think I should have gone into it, but I do like doing voices, which is why my kids loved it when I read them stories, because I did all the voices. But my kids would nail me with it. I didn't write notes down, and I would be doing like the 12 dwarves from The Hobbit. And I would have Bilbo's voice. Bilbo talked like this, you know, a little bit, kind of near Liverpudlian with a little bit of high-pitched Welsh bit thrown in a bit, you know. And my kids loved it. And then all the different dwarves had different voices. And I'm, okay, like, this is Bombor's voice. Or actually, Bombor was the fat one, so this was Bombor's voice. And this was his brother Bimbor's voice. And then I would mix the voices up. Like, Dad, that's Bombor's voice. I'm like, oh, the kids are taking notes. Oh, the kids are taking notes. They've got the, Dad, that's not the right voice. And it's like, crap, you know. So on here, with every scene, I do, as I was saying earlier, I record all of Matt's lines so I can try to stay in voice. But if I get tired, if it's like the fourth take of the voices, all of a sudden Matt's voice isn't the same.
Randall asked you how many of the episodes have actually watched that clip.
Of the actual TV show, I've watched 3.
Enough to form an opinion.
3. Because I couldn't use the other characters from the show. Matt Clark is the only character from the show, because otherwise I can't do all the goofy names. So I've watched 3 episodes of Matt Clark, and I'm trying to steal certain things from it, including the getting knocked out every episode. So that will happen. Matt Clark will get knocked out. But, you know, I couldn't bring in the girl or, you know, that, because I had to have the other names with it. You know, I have to have Lil McGill and Sheriff, you know, Buck M. Dannon, you know, Book M. Dannon. Sumbish, you know, that's the best name in there. And we're not done with the Sumbish jokes. Nope. The Sumbish jokes are still rolling until you're sick of them, and then there'll still be more. There are more Sumbish jokes. That Sumbish gets worn out. We're going to wear that Sumbish out. Hello, Stuart. From St. Mary, that's Stuart.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to wrap up here, but thank you for stopping in. We appreciate it. Yeah, we really... I have fun writing this stuff, and from doing the songs and doing this stuff, I love to write. And I've always liked trying to be funny. Joyce has said for years I should have gone into comedy. Mm-hmm. That I could have made it as a stand-up comedian. I didn't believe I would.
Instead, you just taught and did your stand-up routine.
I do my stand-up comedy routine for my students. But I didn't want to go into comedy for another reason, which is I wanted to be a poet and a serious writer. And I couldn't be a comedian and somebody who writes all this amazing, deep, street, urban poetry stuff. And so... that held me back as well, but when I was 20, I had stage fright, man. I couldn't do it. You try open mic, and it's like, I quit. Now I do comedy in front of my students for 30-some years. You know, I've got a captive audience, but I do enjoy this stuff. So it's just opened this part of my brain that's been shut down for a while, and it's been fun. It's fun doing the songs, and I will go back to doing the songs, but right now I want to get this Matt Clark, because I see it going at least 10 episodes. I see it going... I'm writing episode 6 now, and I know there's at least 2 more episodes to get to the last 2 to 3 episodes, because I've already got those kind of in my head where I want to go with them, but I don't write them because just in case I write something... Like, I wrote something in scene 2 here that became a joke in scene 4. I write something in scene 3 that becomes a joke in scene 5. Where, if I had written scene 5 first, that joke wouldn't be there. And, the bad jokes roll. It's potty humor, it's 13-year-old humor, bad puns, it's everything. And then there's even some deep, gotta think about it humor. Like catching the Wi-Fi sign at the station. I throw a little crap in there. You'll go back to the first video and say, wait, what did he throw in there? And you'll find stuff.
because I throw little crap in everywhere just to see who's looking or paying attention. So now you'll go through all my videos. It's like when John Lennon got told about Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds, how people thought it was LSD, and he was like, no, it wasn't. Day Tripper was about LSD, not Lucy in the Sky with Diamonds.
You got the wrong one.
You got the wrong song, guys. And he's like, I went back through all my songs after that. So did I write other secret codes I didn't know of? So we did that. But anyhow, it is 5:48 and we got to do dinner here. So once again, as I do at the end of every show, I want to thank you all on behalf of. I'd like to thank you all on behalf of the band and ourselves, and I hope we've passed the audition. No, not nasally enough to do John Lennon. I can't do John Lennon with the nose. I just you got to get it more up in the nose, and I can never get it up there enough. I'd like to thank you on behalf of the band and ourselves, and I hope we've passed the audition. Now, Paul was the first one I met when we were okay. But anyhow, I want to thank you all for tuning into my insanity, hanging out, chatting, keeping each other company, and keeping me company. You guys are always a great cheer up on a bad week or a rough week, and you're just fun when it's been a good week. So, as always, thanks everybody. It's really awesome. Thank everybody. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss.